This week in the Restroom, we get our SNL leftovers on with a coming-of-age turd from 2015. We've got bad Jewish accents, warmed-over SNL characters, off-the-shelf plot devices, jokes that never land, and actress Gina Gershon overshooting her mark as a Jewish housewife so badly you'd think she was auditioning for a role in a musical of The Nanny. It's Staten Island Summer, and before we flush it, we're going to take it out and play with it a little. Restroom Cinema. We're here to flush it so you don't have to see it. Greetings, everyone. I am Honor Knight, your head cinematic flusher right here in the Restroom. As always, I'm joined by my lovely co-cinematic flushers, Midwest movie mogul Colleen Griffin.
Hey.
Raging Buddha B-movie queen Nora Crest.
What's up?
And sassy cinephile Sarah Polton.
Hi.
Also joining us as part of our extended co-flushing team this time out is the British half of the BlokeBusters podcast. BlokeBusters is a movie chit-chat show that covers all types of cinema, from the latest releases to the worst franchises. Please welcome back show host Paul, where the bloody hell are the jokes, Hawkins.
Boner. Because apparently that's funny.
Let's kick off this flush with a round of Thunder Dump. Blow some ass. I'll put 60 seconds on the Restroom clock, and we're going to go around the cinematic bowl to see who has the worst alternate title for this week's cinematic turd. The loser will then get to read the RSS, that's Restroom Stall Stats, in a funny voice of my choosing. Here we go. Griff!
Wet hot American mediocrity.
Crest!
Penis pool party.
Nice! Polton!
Spy Kids to Staten Island of Lost Dreams.
Yeah, we'll just slide on that one. Hawkins!
Staten Island, now with 50% more child bestiality.
Oh, gee, whoa!
What?
I had a SNL Island Summer. Griff!
Live from Staten Island, it's a waste of your time.
Excellent! Crest!
Tiny Speedo.
Nice, Polton!
V is for Virgin.
Nice, Hawkins!
The boy who burned the hornet's nest.
And I had Where Jewish Accents Go to Die. Griffin!
Big pussy versus a bigger pussy.
Crest!
Only the fat guy gets laid.
Polton!
Staten Island of Dr. Moreau.
Oh! Alright, that is time. All right, we're going to end up on a limp note. Real limp dick on the end of that one. But that's some excellent round of Thunder Dump, guys. Great job. But since we ended on a limp note, we're going to have to go with Miss Sarah Polton on this one. All right, so Sarah Polton is a big loser this time for Thunder Dump. She's going to read the RSS, that's Restroom Stall Stats, in the voice of a Jewish accent. Have at it.
How you doing? You look lovely. Have you eaten something? All right. Staten Island Summer is a 2015 American comedy. I don't know if I'd say comedy. It's a film directed by, what's his name? Rise Thomas? Who named that kid that? And written by Colin Jost. The film stars Graham Phillips. He's very handsome. I wonder if he's single for Sarah. Zack Pearlman, John DeLuca, Bobby Moynihan. Oh boy, I could go on for days. There's a lot of people in this movie. The film is based on Danny's and Frank's last summer together before college, but, it wasn't very eventful. The two were working as lifeguards, which is a great job for the summer, but you gotta wear a lot of sunscreen or you're gonna burn. And they're trying to find a summer hookups, which, you really should wait until you're a little older, because you're giving away your soul when you just start sleeping around like that. But with troubling setbacks, they still managed to throw a party, which, sounds real dangerous. The film was released in digital download on June 30th, 2015 by Paramount Pictures. They've done better. It currently sits at 42% on Rotten Tomatoes based on 12 reviews. Well, who would give it a good review, huh? People in it? All right.
Not many. All right, there you go, folks. That is a great job, Miss Polton, or Miss Polton's mom. That's your RSS Restroom Stall Stats for this week. Holy shit. Hey, remember that unfunny lost season of SNL? I found it on Netflix.
Oh, my God.
Remember every unfunny sequel to all the 80s coming-of-age movies?
I think they watched the way back and were like, that's kind of a good idea. Let's do that.
Right? Or they watched the way back and just that part in The Sandlot when the kid tongues the lifeguard and he's like a stud, and then they have like 100 kids together, and they're like, we could make a
The
movie.
way back and the Sandlot would very much like to be left out of this discussion.
Drink again, guys. Take a drink every time you see an SNL cast member. On a related note, have 911 ready to go on speed dial.
Oh my god.
There's a lot, and not one of them is fucking funny. Not one. I grew up in Staten Island, New York, where we can only afford lame narration and super cheap title fonts.
You know how I feel about starting a movie with a voiceover.
We've talked about this, Paul. It never started with a flashback or a voiceover. We've talked, again and again. The Great Kills Swim Club. Unlike this film, which doesn't have any great comedy kills. And then I wrote Heyo. Boy, I was really slacking on that Heyo. Yeah, I gotta dial it up on that.
Are you actually writing Heyo?
Yeah, I do. I have to. I have to Heyo my own Heyo jokes. That's how bad it's gotten here in the restroom. We'd be knee deep in sniz. Sadly, this is what they told me would happen when I became a podcaster. And then I wrote in capitals, they lie. Yeah, no sniz, guys. No sniz for these guys either. This guy is just narrating his life, and not really life, just where he works and who he is, and and he works at a place called the Great Kill Swim Club, which I guess is an actual place.
Honestly, it is more like a Jewish community
that
center
what it is?
because they do tend to have the better pools.
If we hooked up, I'd have to turn myself in for statutory rape. Safety tip, folks. This pickup line does not work. Trust me on that one.
Why would anyone? I mean, I know guys can be stupid. Is there like a guy who just goes around like hitting on young women like that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there is. Now to be fair though, they were two young girls, but if you did them both, you combine the ages, and then it's legal. It's legal.
The opening attempt as a joke in this film is a rape joke.
Well, it doesn't really set the bar that high. You're right, Paul. It's just like being here in the restroom every week. Yeah. All right, so there you go. So we're not off to a good start, joke-wise, but we're going to roll with it. Hang in there. That's Anthony DeBono, who is being played by one of Tom Cruise's evil Scientology clone babies.
No. This guy, seriously, if you Google him and you look him up on YouTube, he does a whole parody of the Tom Cruise Scientology video.
He looks exactly like him. He's like a young Tom Cruise.
Yeah. He knows that.
So he's in on the joke. Oh, see, I worked the joke in, but he's actually...
His name is John DeLuca. He is a real Italian midget. So,
and he does... But, boy, he was spitting... Sarah, you didn't think he was good looking? Was he like your type?
Of course I did.
Oh,
yeah.
All right, never mind.
She had 2 babies while she was watching this movie just from this guy.
Sarah lost feeling in her left arm because of this guy. So
I did. I can't feel my left arm right now. So completely
she had a very active afternoon watching this show. All right, so he's
Other claim to fame he has was being in Teen Beach Movie. In case you guys missed
we actually did. I don't know if Paul did. Paul may have watched it.
I saw it.
That's Billy Thompson. Surprised to know when SNL's Bobby Moynihan's opening shot would involve him throwing up into a trash can. I guess he finished reading the script just prior to shooting, huh?
Dude, he was like the funniest part of this
But
movie.
he's not,
Easily.
Griff. He's playing the same role he played in that other one with the sisters. It's the same
still
role.
funny.
It's not fun. Nothing he does in his film, except for that cigarette thing in the pool, is marginally funny, and we'll talk about it. Moynihan, I'll give him a lot of credit. He has been obviously riotously funny on the show. He's done now, right? He left the show, right, with a couple other people.
Yeah.
So this is all he's got to fall back on, just movies like this, where he can just be a party goer acting crazy, and that's much later on in the film. Hang in there, folks. But they're introducing. They're all lifeguards at this community pool, this Great Kills Community Club, and so that's what we're introducing. The best friend and Bobby Moynihan, who's 40 years old and still working as a lifeguard at this place. Our manager, Chuck Casino, who looks like a popsicle stick came to life. 5-minute mark. Boy, I haven't seen someone that thin since Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. Hey-o!
Did no one else look at him and just think it's John Hodgman's younger, nerdier brother?
Yeah, I agree, and he's not funny. That was the other problem. We've seen that type of character.
Walking around in the Speedo was pretty,
It's gross, and it gets old really quick. He must be, 90
He's
pounds?
done some great stuff.
Well, what has he done that's been great? Because he's not funny
he's a
here.
Writer.
Okay,
he's a writer on SNL.
No, honestly, I'm not...
Really good skits.
He's just not good here. And that may be the fault of the script. I don't want to hang it all on him. But I just, we've seen that type of character. You have the boss, Danny Kutchmer, or Danny Keckner, damn it, I can't pronounce his name right, in Waiting. It's the same character. Yeah, David Keckner. Danny Keckner, there we go. David Keckner, that's the light beer, folks. He's the same character as the David Keckner character in Waiting. That's why I keep coming back to that, because there's a lot of the same stuff.
David Koechner was awesome.
Right, exactly. But this guy should have been. That's the type of character that should have been awesome. This guy could have really sold it, but I don't know if it was miscast or it's a script problem.
No, I felt like this movie was rushed in terms of, like, let's get it, like, okay, we don't know how long this Jost kid might last.
Griff, is this how he landed the job on SNL, or has he been? He hasn't been on that show.
No, he's been there for many seasons.
Oh, has he? Okay.
Yeah, it was after he was already a writer on SNL.
Okay. Ma, I told you, he's going to Harvard. Nice to see Kate McKinnon polishing up her Jewish accent skills between seasons around the 6-minute mark.
It's not a Jewish accent.
What is she doing?
Long Island, Staten Island accent.
It's a little Jewish, though. It's a little.
Is it Long Island medium or what's the,
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Teresa Caputo, and she talks like this.
I'm surprised she didn't show up.
Spirit is talking through me right now.
Yeah,
Hang on.
it's Long Island and it's Jewish too.
They were reading for me. Hold on. I got a reading here.
No, but everybody's accent, McKinnon's accent, all right, it's serviceable. We're she's polishing it up because we've seen her just do that material. She's not funny in this film at all. I mean, she turns up quite a bit, I think, throughout. She's not given, but that may be the fault of the script. She's not given enough to do, as a character. And she's not really a character, but good.
Everybody would have an accent. I talked to my grandma in New Jersey, and I was like, Grandma, how do you know it's me every time I call? And she was like, you're the only person I know that doesn't have an accent. And I was like, all right, fair enough. So every single person should have some kind of thick Staten Island accent.
But some of them don't. Obviously, the lead character does not, and his buddy, Josh Gad buddy, does not either. So, but then, you got to pepper it out. Because, the character actors, SNL people like doing characters, except for Bobby Moynihan, who just basically plays himself.
Also, it's not Josh Gad in this movie.
I know. It's a Josh Gad. They couldn't afford Josh Gad, so they got this guy. He's basically a Josh Gad of the film.
Too old to be this guy's best friend.
I think they're all a little old.
I know, no. Like,
they're all too old.
This kid was actually in The Good Wife.
Yeah, right. Well, no, he's on The Good Wife. Yeah, or it was when it was up. Yeah, The Good Wife.
And his friend is basically our age, like in his mid-30s.
Exactly, so I'm saying they're all way too old, even to be in this film. But all right. You're wearing a giant sign that says Virgin. In case you're wondering what an unfunny red-haired version of Josh Gad would be like, I give you Zack Pearlman. Okay, there you go. I made the joke earlier, and now now I'm catching up in my notes.
He was also in the unfunny series Mulaney.
Oh, God. Okay. So Zack Pearlman is not. He also came from Funny or Die.
Funny guy and unfunny project.
Yeah, and if you saw his IMDb picture, he's got one of those man buns, or he's got the hair tied up in the back, like
and the huge Bushman beard.
Yeah, he's got that lumberjack beard.
I can't see him in anything other than Aaron from the Key and Peele thing.
Oh, that's right. Okay, there you go. Yeah, you're right.
Aaron.
Victor, what are you doing? Slumming between seasons of Portlandia. Duh. Fred Armisen shows up.
That show's also done, I think.
All right, well, at the time, maybe he was slumming, but...
Portland basically booted them out, I think.
Okay. Yeah, basically.
Fred Armisen shows up, and he's basically the Bill Murray Caddyshack character of this film. He's a caretaker of the thing. Yeah, he is.
The best person in this was the little kid.
Yeah, we'll talk about him. Yeah, the little kid was funnier than Fred Armisen. Fred Armisen's just doing a standard character and not that funny. Actually kind of scary later on, but he starts out relatively normal as the caretaker, and he's got that little sidekick, that little kid sidekick, who's been in a bunch of stuff. I know him. He's funny. That kid's money. That kid was kind of the shit. He kind of blew some of his lines later on, but I liked him anyway because, like I said, he was just real. He was just there. He was present, unlike everybody else who just showed up for the day. Danny's not, because he's going to Orlando to get his vagina enlarged. Well, now you know why I'm living in Orlando. Hey-o. Okay, we got it. This is the last weekend of summer where all coming-of-age comedies take place. Was Colin Jost even trying? That's what I wrote. Lazy. Why can't we do this film at the beginning of summer? Why does it always got to be like the last weekend? Did we do Take Me Home Tonight? And it was the same fucking plot? Yeah. Right? It was the last weekend?
I thought this was a better version of Take Me Home Tonight.
Yeah, but all these things are about the last chance you get for something before something else is going to happen. I mean, that's what's ridiculous about these movies anyway. This kid is about to start his entire fucking life at Harvard. Yet all I can think about is possibly putting his penis in Mancucci's coochie, and then the whole thing revolves around that. It's stupid.
Surely, coming from Saturday Night Live alum, wouldn't this film have been better, from across the entire summer, with weekend after weekend after weekend, And then the last weekend's like the big finale when they finally do the thing.
Yeah.
So then you could have little skits
Vignettes.
throughout,
Yeah, that's
which is
what I'm saying.
they're good at.
Right. Well, you're right. If it was done in vignettes up until the end, this might have been a better film. We've got fast passes, which Disney no longer uses in ticket form. But thanks anyway, Jim Gaffigan. 12-minute mark. Jim Gaffigan shows up as he plays the father. Kay Walsh is the mother of the, what the hell is his name? I don't know, whatever Phillips.
Graham Phillips.
Yeah, so they play the parents. And Jim Gaffigan's not funny. He's not given anything funny to do. I'm not the biggest Jim Gaffigan fan.
You didn't have a good script to work with.
It was completely underused here.
Ouch.
I mean, I feel like everybody had sort of like, what's that thing from Pulp Fiction with the guy in the basement and the leather thing with the gag?
The gimp
thing.
It's a ball cock.
Comic gimp. Oh God.
Yeah.
I wish they would have just let them improv these scenes because it would have been better.
Well, wait. Do you think they didn't let him improv because it was a time thing? Because they
really
only
think that it was not a lot of improv here, except for maybe like a good portion of Zack Pearlman and Method Man together. Because I don't think Method Man ever does scripts. I think he just does him.
Yeah,
so,
no, that's true. I think McKinnon improv as best she could. I guess they were improv. I just don't know if they were given enough time to really kind of explore the characters.
Did anyone else think that the parents were just a little too into the idea of their son getting a girlfriend? They were like really
My
on board
parents
with
are
it.
a little bit like that.
The thing is, that's not inaccurate.
Okay, all right. So,
Their
all right.
parents did remind me. My parents are like a funny version of them.
Yeah.
I will say.
Okay. Oh, so your parents are funny, bro. Okay.
No. What my problem is, they gave him a plane ticket to use or not use.
No, who has that kind of money to like throw away a fucking plane ticket? I'm sorry, no.
All right, that's coming down. Hang on. So, they do an annual trip to Disney World, and he's thinking of not going because they want to throw this party at the community pool center at the same weekend. It's just scheduling, folks. Then I wrote, does this film take place in the 70s? I said, what family has dinner all at the same time? Who does that anymore? I thought it was a very...
when I was a kid.
I did.
No, now, though, but I'm talking now. This film takes place now. That's why I said it doesn't take place in the 70s. I think it was kind of an archaic scene. Like, the film kind of bounces back and forth. It has a 70s vibe or an early 80s vibe, yet it's set now. And it doesn't, I don't think the two kind of gel. I don't know if they ever kind of really come together. Colin Jost, I just wish he had done a period piece, but I guess they couldn't afford to do that. So maybe, I don't know, I forget. There was no budget
It would have
posted
been
on it.
better if it were 70s.
You
I agree.
That was the problem. The
Yeah.
budget, not the creative restrictions.
Well-
like, Colin Jost went to Harvard, but come on.
Yeah, but I know that the script, that we have script issues, but I'm saying maybe if it was just a period piece, we'd be a little bit more forgiving of some of this nonsense. The fact that they couldn't do it.
No,
All right,
we
you're
wouldn't.
saying no. All right. We don't know what the budget is, folks. It wasn't posted, so we don't know. Moms don't need a party to have sex. They need a glass of shitty wine. Likewise for Flushing Films, folks. That's a Cicely Strong, who I thought was okay in this. She's not funny in it, but she was okay.
She did what she could.
Yeah, she did what she could.
She's my favorite
Yeah.
part of the movie.
What a lot of people have to do these days.
I know. I thought she had good screen presence, and I think she's got stuff going on, hopefully later in her career. So I like seeing her on camera. Again, she's not given anything to do, but she has good presence, I thought, at least for most of this film, until we get to the end, that weird chemistry between her and Tom Cruise.
I thought there was chemistry from the beginning.
I
agree.
Yeah.
I disagree with that, but all right.
You never have any problem with the May-December romances of a guy being cast, who's old enough to be someone's father, and Cecily Strong is a teeny tiny bit older than the Tom Cruise guy, and you don't see any chemistry?
I didn't have a problem with the age thing. I just didn't think they had chemistry. I thought the kiss at the end was awkward, but we'll talk about it. I don't want to get spoiled.
Okay,
yeah.
you have not kissed someone for a long time, my friend.
Maybe it's me. I gotta stop kissing my own pillow. Maybe it's me at this point. All right. Well, I'll work on that.
You gotta get rid of your Simba doll.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I gotta stop fucking that.
Oh my God.
Ladies, I brought lunch. Why does Gina Gershon dress like a tablecloth around the 15-minute mark?
You
Griff,
just shut your mouth.
Paul-
Every one of her outfits I own.
she's a housewife, a bored housewife that keeps hanging out at the pool, and she's dressed like a cabaret dancer for the most of the film, and we'll talk about that.
Hey, she looks fantastic.
All right, I know you
Her
have...
outfits are
Oh,
fantastic.
boy. That's, just because you own her outfits does not make it fantastic in the film, but okay, we're
Yes,
gonna...
She's got great taste.
Let me ask you, are those official Chico's outfits that she has?
boy.
Is that
She got them
before?
at Marshall's on sale.
Yes.
This is the point in the film when I actually turned on the audio descriptive audio track, which saved my viewing of this film.
Okay, so you'd have to listen to the dialogue and just read it.
No, the dialogue, everything was the same, but whenever there wasn't any dialogue, it would then very, very, very quickly describe what was going on scene.
Oh, nice. Oh, maybe I should get that, and I don't have to pay attention as much. All right.
Oh, God. That could get real weird later.
Yeah,
It does.
Oh, keep us posted. She was the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. Cue Foreigners feels like the first time for this sexist montage of Ashley Greene arriving at the swimming pool. Ashley Greene looks really good. She looks really good. I don't know where she's from, but she can rock that yellow bikini.
Twilight.
Yep.
I didn't see any of that, so I'm completely.
You forgot she was from Twilight.
I didn't see Twilight, so I have no relation to this woman at all. Except she looks great in this yellow bikini. Polton, you got that bikini?
You want to know something? She's your neighbor, Honor. She's from Jacksonville.
Oh, is she? Oh, yeah. Well, don't get crazy, Chris. Yes, Ashley Greene shows up. She is the girl that everybody wants. She is the Rebecca De Mornay of Risky Business. Anyway, she's just the object of affection that we've... Guys, it's just lazy screenwriting. It's the same...
Well, no, it's like Rachel Lee Cook from She's All That.
Yep, yeah. We're just going on a line of just, there's always... But they always do this slow motion scene, which doesn't really happen in real life. And in this one, they put a lot of CG shit, where there's like people exploding and fireworks going off, which is supposed to be funny, but none of it is funny because we've seen it. It's just rote.
This is when I was so happy I turned on the audio description track.
What did it say?
Because the woman doing it when she has time is so monotone. Every guy gawks at the blonde. A man jumping off a diving board explodes into confetti.
That's much
like
better.
That Doritos ad. I think you just basically stole a Doritos ad.
Again, you've seen this film, folks. But anyway, this is the guy that the lead character really wants to be with. And, if you've seen any of these other films, we're going to this and how it ends up, too. Man, that thing is messed up. No doubt Fred Armisen was referring to the script, not a hornet's nest, at the 18-minute mark on that one. But a bump. There you go. Fred Armisen, once again, we will remind you, he is the Bill Murray from Caddyshack. He's that same character. Instead of a gopher, it's a hornet's nest, and he gets to do really some dumb shit that kind of screws up the plot later on. He's not funny. That's the other problem. Fred Armisen is insanely funny. So we'll go on record again saying, I have nothing against all these actors. I just wish I don't understand why nothing landed in this film. What's the problem here?
Because this was longer than 5 minutes. If this had been a 5-minute sketch, it could have been funny.
You really you think that? No, because they've done long. I mean, Armisen's done Portlandia. These actors have shown up in other stuff, and they've been consistently funny. I don't know if I can really hold it.
Colleen has pointed out multiple times when sketches have failed on SNL because they didn't fucking lean into it and they didn't push
I agree,
it.
and
I think that's what happened with this entire film.
It might also be because there's only one writing credit listed on here. It's just Colin Jost.
It's his Jost. It's Jost, for God's sakes.
Right, so why didn't he get everyone to help him? They could have pointed out.
Yeah, he works on the show. He's worked on the show. I don't understand. Like, there's something fundamentally wrong. I don't know if it's the 5-minute rule, Chris. I think there's more going on here that just doesn't land. Because these guys are improv actors, and they should be able to improv funnier stuff.
The 5-minute thing is not a problem. It's how the sketch goes out.
No, I agree with that. But I'm asking, why isn't this landing here? I don't understand why these are improv actors. Why aren't they improving better material?
That's why I recommended the movie in the first place. You've got all this talent, right. And it's wasted.
But we're just trying to disseminate. I'm just trying to understand, like, why it's wasted. To come up with a theory of, like, did they just blow in for the day? Were they just not in the same headspace? I mean, there's something else going on here. Well, like, none of these people are funny, and all of these people are funny. So I don't understand why they just couldn't pour it over, especially since Colin Jost, who's a cast member, wrote the script, and he should be able to tailor these performances to them.
A cast member, he was head writer.
Oh man, that's even worse.
Writing a 5-minute script that's funny versus writing an entire screenplay are very different and very different skills.
I agree with that.
So,
all right, well,
maybe he's very good at one, but not the other. It's like asking like a chef, "Oh, can you be a farmer?" Like they're just different.
Okay, good point. Coming from the sky, it's wine. If you're ever wondering how Sarah Polton arrives in the restroom each week, I give you Gina Gershon around the 19-minute mark. She blazes right in with that bottle of wine, doesn't she?
My favorite character. I thought she was funny. Everything she said, I out loud laughed.
Now, granted, she's 100%, but I think she's doing her own movie. I don't really think she's in this movie.
Everybody looked like they'd been drugged. She was awake. She was there. She was present. She was having fun.
I wish she was funnier.
It was super weird. It was great.
Anthony, would you say you have a big dick? Ooh, you'd be surprised how often I get asked this question.
All Are you sure you're not being asked, are you a big dick?
You know what? I get that. I get that one too, Chris. Thank you very much for popping that balloon. We'll keep moving. So glad you're back. Holy shit. There's a flashback sequence involving, because Graham Phillips' character has a big crush on the lady of the hour, Crystal Manacucci, who was his babysitter as a kid, which is a little creepy, I thought.
She's 5 years older than him. It's not that weird.
That backstory was hella disturbing.
Oh, the backstory.
Yeah, the backstory is really fucked up. Well, let me break it down. Hang in there. Let me break it.
Legal?
No, it's not legal. So let me break it down.
Right?
So when the babysitter was there and she would leave, he would pretend his stuffed lion, the Simba lion, was this girl, and he would have a whole relationship with her in a room. They have a date, and they'd feed her tea and stuff like that. And then he would end up fucking her, basically fucking the lion, which was really fucking gross, guys.
When you see that, like, the rhythm bouncing against it,
it
scars you for life.
Yeah, who fucks
Who would
stuff?
film this?
Yeah.
Who would say,
Okay.
I'm going to go to work and film this? And then who would go, my child should have this part?
No, I was waiting for Michael Che to come on and be like, dude, stop it.
I will say this in the matter of taste. At least you didn't see the kid
Well, yeah.
during
No,
the rhythmic
that's
part.
Fair. That's fair.
Doing anything. So at least we were spared that, but it was implied, and that's bad enough.
All right, let's keep. So anyway, yeah, there's that sequence, folks, and I think that's around the 22-minute mark. Have at that one. Good luck with that. It is on Netflix. So we should mention that this is on Netflix. So at any point you want to pause this podcast and go right to the minute mark that I'm mentioning, and then come back, you can do it for free. Then come back and listen to us. Hey, kid, did you just hit me with that basketball? I was in The Sopranos, for fuck's sake. Can't you tell by my heavy Italian accent? Crystal Manacucci's father turns out to be this. I forget the guy's actual Victor Pastore, right?
No, Vincent.
Vincent. I'm sorry, Vincent. I want to get that right. You big pussy.
Yeah, he played Big Pussy.
Yeah.
On The Sopranos.
It's nice to see him like just showing up. I wish he was funnier in this. He's not. He has a couple lines that he really rails against this kid later on. So as a result, it turns out the lead character, the Graham Phillips, is really attracted to this girl, but she's dating a biker, like an actual biker. And apparently the father does not approve, and in order to throw the father off on the basketball court, he throws a basketball at his head so she can get away real quick and kind of help her out.
Really great shot. Though.
It was a great shot. And I thought Mr. Pastore sold it. He basically just went into Sopranos mode. The guy just doing the same character. He's just not called Big Pussy. I forget what he's called in the film, but and so you get what you pay for. You hire Vincent Pastore. This is what you're gonna get, and it's fine. I think for what he had to do. I just wish he was a little bit funnier.
Vincent.
Sorry, Vincent.
He's gonna whack you.
He's gonna.
I'm done now.
That's the name of my rickshaw company. Slightly faster than walking. Hey-o! I'm not saying that I co-wrote this turd, but.
Why are we talking about rickshaw companies in Staten Island?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So the joke doesn't work. Again, fundamentally, all the jokes he's writing just don't work in context of the setting of the film.
I need someone to explain to me something that happened in this film.
Go ahead. You have the SNL ladies here. Have at it.
When Zack Pearlman is basically trying to talk to Crystal and then just gives up and starts going, fresh pepper? What the fuck was that?
He's doing basically any American waiter, like Cheesecake Factory, anything, right?
Oh, is that the joke?
Thought that was funny, and then I got real weird inside.
Yeah. And Poland's arm went numb.
I thought it was funny because he just he didn't know what to do. She didn't take.
Oh, is that the joke?
He was trying to.
I thought it was disgusting because they brought back Sandler into.
Oh no, not Sandler. Oh, we don't want to mention that name.
Is that from an Adam Sandler?
Is it really?
Yes. Freshy Pepper. That was back in like the Bill Hartman days.
Oh, way back. But still, he brought it back. Okay, that's not cool. All right, Griffin. All right, we're gonna give Griffin with the win on that one because.
So that's why I'm on this episode.
Yeah. See, you thought you were out, and we pulled you back in. Even when it's a non-Sandler film, you're still in. We got another Sandler coming up this year, right? Got one later on coming up.
Shut up.
I need a break. His name too many times.
No, we got
come and appear on the show.
Yeah, I know. It's like Beetlejuice. All right. So there you go. Just keep that in mind, folks. More Sandler down the line. This is going to be the best last weekend ever. Didn't they already say this would take me home tonight? And once again, I wrote in capitals, they lie. Never is the best weekend ever. But we've already flushed this type of weekend. We're doing it again, folks. Because now they're planning to have a part. The whole thing hinges on them having one party without the manager, that popsicle guy that we mentioned earlier, noticing. So, and the people in this are Cicely Strong and, the Josh Gad character and the Graham Phillips character and that the Tom Cruise character, they're all kind of in on having this party at the pool area, in the community pool area. Why can't they go somewhere else? Drinking and swimming is not really a good mix. Diet's going great. I ate kale out of your mom's pussy last night. Okay, guys, I did laugh at this joke, so don't judge me.
We've got lots of things to judge you on, Honor. Don't worry.
This is very minor point in the long line. Okay. When Chuck goes to the bathroom, Chuck stays in the bathroom. Tell us about it. I've been stuck in this restroom for 5 years. First of all, who shits at the same time every day? This guy goes to 3:25 every day for a bowel movement. I am not that timely. I know. I could.
Great.
The manager has his own private stall that he has out of order on the stall, so nobody else uses it. But when you go in, it's like his own little private Idaho thing. But if you notice, guys, there was an overhead shot. He installed his own toilet seat. He had like a wooden toilet seat on there. The wood grain? He put that in there. I thought that was actually marginally funny. I wish those jokes were played up a little bit more. Or they had an actor that could sell that more.
I do have a question. If you're going to the bathroom and like you're a man and you sit down in the toilet, do you pull your bathing suit to your ankles?
No. It inevitably goes.
Or to your knees? What's going on?
Knees, because you don't want it to touch the ground because people pee on the floor. So that you don't want that on your bathing suit. Die, all of you. Hey, Bill Murray called. He'd like his performance from Caddyshack back, please, Fred. 35-minute mark.
I know, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Like
so now,
they took all the best things.
They did of other films.
Into the worst movie.
You're absolutely right. So what happens is we're gonna zip back to the Fred Armisen character. Like I mentioned before, he's Bill Murray in Caddyshack. If you haven't seen that film, go watch that film. Anyway, there's a hornet's nest. They have an infestation of a hornet's nest. So his solution, instead of just they sprayed it, didn't do anything, is to get a flamethrower, a fucking flamethrower from Home Depot, which they don't sell that. I checked. But he gets a flamethrower, and now he's gonna go the Bill Murray route and start blowing up shit and setting stuff on fire. So anyway, that's where that comes from. If you've seen that Caddyshack, you've seen this.
Unlike Caddyshack, he's employing a 7-year-old.
I like that. I wish it was played up.
That kid's hilarious.
You gotta understand, though, when Bill Murray did Caddyshack, when he was doing the character, he was playing it straight. Armisen's playing it for laughs. There's a big difference between the two. And that's why Bill Murray's is so funny, because he was so natural at just playing a character, where Armisen's clearly playing a character and playing for laughs. Right. Nothing against Fred Armisen. He's done great work. Just here, they might have just ran him in for 2 days, and he had to come up with something, and this was it. And maybe just channeled Caddyshack. Maybe just was doing it as a tribute.
I was just going to say, I feel like they should have just shown him airplane, pointed at Leslie Nielsen, just gone, that's how you do it.
Exactly. Yeah, just don't try, just do. It's just, but frustrating. Because it could have been a great moment, a great character bit. And we know where it's going. That's the other thing. We're as an audience, we're ahead of all this.
Film?
Yeah, that's it.
There are so many moments where it could have been great character moments, and they didn't follow through.
But Griff, you write that in because as an audience, we're ahead of all this material because we've seen all of this material before, and we've seen it done better. So, you're watching this stuff, but you're rewriting the jokes, and you're rewriting the characters from other films. Like I said, when he came on, I thought Bill Murray and Caddyshack.
We want to see Angela Merkel.
Yes, we do. You're absolutely right. Okay.
Yes.
Hey, look out up there. You almost hit me with this angel. Oof. Wonder how many times Sarah Polden has heard that line.
You know what? I did hear that in DC.
So right.
A year ago, a guy said, "Where are you from? I know where you're from, heaven."
Oh, gross! Did you puke on his shoes?
He actually had this really weird accent, and he goes, "I know where you're from. You're from heaven."
Well, you're all right. That's way better, way funnier than what Anthony DeBono did. He was talking to, who the hell was he talking to? Was he talking to Gina Gershon? I think he was talking to Gina Gershon in that scene. That's when I said Gina Gershon is wearing enough eyeshadow around the 38-minute mark to host her own Mardi Gras parade. She was caked out in that eyeshadow, guys.
She still looks phenomenal.
She's 100% in this film, and I'm glad
That is my pool look, by the way.
And the eyeshadow? That's your pool look? Okay, I got it. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, send pics of that. All right, you're under arrest for being gay. In case you wanted to put a face to the unfunny asshole who wrote this turd, I give you Colin Jost's cameo as a cop around the 40-minute mark. They're all charged with different jobs. One guy's charged with getting this, that, and it's up to Tom Cruise to get the alcohol. He calls up a cousin or something like that, and it's a cop. It's 2 cops, actually, that roll up to the sequence, and it's Colin Jost and some other guy I don't know. It's a strange scene because they have the alcohol in the trunk, which is a keg, 3 bottles of booze, and some fireworks. Not the best array for a party at a pool, but all right, that comes into play later. But Colin Jost is just obnoxious right off the bat, and he has one funny scene at the end, which I thought was okay, but here, in case you're wondering who wrote it, that's the or you watch SNL. There you go. He's in this. He wrote his own cameo. But why wouldn't he?
Let me just say, in the 2 years since he
Go ahead.
wrote this terrible movie, his writing has gotten a lot better.
I agree with that.
And
I agree
also
with that.
his acting and joke telling.
My note for this scene simply just says, I believe this is the only time I can say this without retribution. Fuck the police.
The popo.
Right?
The turd is off the toilet. Boy, if I had a nickel every time I heard that in the restroom. All right. So anyway, they get a plan to. They have to steal the keys from the manager, which is that popsicle guy we've been talking about. And in order to do that, they have to trap him on the toilet. Like you said, he has a bowel movement at 3:25 p.m. every day. So that kid, that's the sidekick kid, steals his bathing suit out from underneath the stall and leaves him naked in the stall so he can't escape. And as a result, they get the keys out of the thing, and then Cicely Strong and Bobby Moynihan have to go down and get the keys made while they're trapping this guy in. Oh my God, that's a kid boner. I get that a lot, actually.
No.
Ba-dum-bum-hey-oh! All right.
Two things here. The first one is actually a serious question. That scene starts with the lifeguard guy watching the girl walking along and get into the pool. Do people really wear shorts over their bottoms that they take off at the pool's edge? Is that really a thing?
Is that happened?
But not
'Cause
at
that's
the pool
dumb.
edge, right? Like
No,
at your chair.
No,
and
she
then-
doesn't at the pool
Right.
edge. Right.
But people do wear things over their swimsuits
Right.
and then undress from those. Yes.
All right, so Paul, what's the second question?
The other thing was it was another audio descriptive track. It
Oh,
was
boy.
when that kid is like, oh my God, he's drowning. It just says, a kid struggles slightly in the pool.
So basically, the Josh Gad character, the red-haired kid, gets upgraded from the baby pool to the adult pool because the other people are busy getting ready for the party, and the kid is apparently drowning, so he has to go into action. And that's when he. But before he does that, he sees his object of affection, which is this identical twin, half Asian girl, but
Half Asian, half Jewish.
Thank you. Half Asian, half Jewish, and they're both cute. They're very cute. But obviously they're older than they're playing because. So anyway, she takes off her.
Oh, dude, no, that Jonah Hill looking guy.
Yeah.
He's like 30.
Yeah, I know. No, these guys are everybody's older.
The twins
Yes,
are
the twins.
1 year younger than Ashley Green.
Oh, really? Oh, they are older. Okay,
Just so
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
they're gonna be 28 this
Oh,
year.
Jesus
and
Christ.
Actually, I'm sorry, they're gonna be 29 this year,
Wow.
and Ashley's turning 30.
Okay, got it. He gets a boner before he has to jump in the water. And when he gets out of the water after rescuing this boy, he lays on his back and he has a boner, which is, I think the boner would have been gone during the rescue.
Was that kid like drowning?
He wasn't really drowning. No, he was not. He's a dick.
That was really terribly shot, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Guys,
Editing.
Kate
Yeah.
McKinnon, what did you do?
Oh, and she's not funny
I
in
know.
that scene either. She turns up again. She's the boy's mother. Oof. And she's not even trying to be funny. She's just not funny. I don't know what's again. They just didn't give her enough
If you want to see her
time
be
to
funny
improv.
as something
She
you haven't
is
seen
funny.
on Saturday Night Live, watch Office Christmas Party.
Now we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. Was anyone else hoping that popsicle dude was going to whip out his dick in front of the kids around the 49-minute mark? Or was that just me? That was just.
Just you.
Thank you.
Just you.
Yeah, woof. All right, well, it's a hard no on all that. But all right. So basically, the popsicle dude calls 3 kids into the office. One's a token black kid, which I think was kind of funny. And then there's the chubby kid who's really funny. And then there's some other rando kid. Anyway, he's just reading the riot act to find out who took the swimsuit, the Speedo, because now he's in a blue Speedo. Again, this guy only owns Speedos. Paul, have you ever worn a Speedo? That's not my thing, dude.
I can honestly say, if I have ever worn one,
We
I
want
don't
pictures.
remember.
Mom, who is this? The SNL alum train keeps on rolling, guys. We're on the 54-minute mark as MacGruber's Will Forte shows up as yet another unfunny character in a long list of unfunny characters in this turd. Anybody laugh at any of his shtick? He plays a wheelchair-bound motorcycle guy who ends up having to have a heart-to-heart with Graham Phillips because his mother takes care of him at the nursing home or wherever the hell she works at.
My brother bought a motorcycle years ago, and my mom's reaction was actually pretty similar to this.
Oh, yeah. MacGruber. My cousin works for Delta. He gets free jet fuel. With any luck, Armisen will burn down the entire set so we don't have to watch the end of this turd. So now we're still rolling with the Bill Murray joke, the Caddyshack joke of just upping the stakes on getting rid of this hornet's nest, which went from 1 hornet's nest to 3. I don't think they multiply that fast, but we're just gonna let it slide for the sake of comedy. And he gets jet fuel to put into the flamethrower to burn down the hornet's nest. So stay with us, folks. It's funnier. It's actually not even funnier than I'm saying this. There you
Yeah,
go.
it's not.
It's not really. Because I am black and I sell drugs. Well, of course. Why else would you cast Method Man as an ice cream vendor in a film chock full of white people?
But that was the whole joke.
I know, but it's not a
that
funny joke.
He wants to get pot to impress
Right.
a hot girl.
The Josh Gad character, the red-haired kid.
Yes. So everybody says, well, if you go to an ice cream truck, they got it. And they play into that stereotype.
The other inside joke is Method Man and Wu-Tang are all from Staten Island.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be better cast if, like, Mike Epps played that guy?
No,
I think Mike Epps. You don't think he'd been funnier?
No.
Mike Epps would have been funnier.
No, it's not just any guy.
Or Charlie Murphy.
It has significance to where it takes place.
All right, okay, I'll give you that. I didn't think Method Man was that funny, but okay, I understand why he was cast.
He made him snort pixie sticks.
Well, that was my next joke. It says, yo, if you're going to buy from us, we need to know you're straight. And I said, since when does buying some weed involve doing a line of coke or fake coke beforehand? Staten Island ain't Detroit, Colin. Hour and 2 minute mark. I don't think that you guys thought that was funnier than I thought it was. But then again, in a film that has no jokes, I guess you got to look for something to laugh at, and maybe this was it.
I thought his second cameo was hilarious when he comes in.
one?
He's like, "This is my boy Pixie." I was like, "All right."
Yep.
Well,
okay.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I like that through line. I wish, again, I think Mike Epps would have did a better job. I have nothing against Method Man or Red Man or with that whole team going on there. I don't know who the other guy was, the other black dude was, and there's only like a couple black people in this film. But I just wish they were just a little bit funnier. Come to Papa. Welcome to the worst screen explosion around the hour and 3 minute mark since every silent film's explosion ever. Not only did they CG the explosion, they CG'd the people blowing back from the explosion.
I know, it was terrible.
It's fucking terrible, even for like a low budget.
They couldn't get a stunt, midget for the kid. And so nobody wants to see a kid getting blown up. That's terrible.
So what happens is they finally they used it. So Paul, you want to rail in on this comedy gem? At this point?
I was just going to say, it didn't even look like CGI. It just looked like the old school trick of everyone stop where they are, and then they just put two dummies in place and just flung them across the
Maybe it was that.
So they, what's his name? Fred Armisen decides to use the jet fuel to blow up the Hornet's Nest, which is where they, in the shed that they stored all the fireworks and the booze for the party. So they blow it up, and of course the fireworks go off, and there's a CGI thing of them being blown backwards, which is really, really cheap. And it's not funny. That's the other thing. I wish it was funny, and then I would have forgiven it.
My notes here literally just say, "Where are the fucking jokes?" There's not been one.
Just think, the next time you're here, you're going to get arrested. I wish they had said that to Colin Jost when he showed up to work at SNL. Hey-o. Okay. All right, you guys are going to let him slide on this? All right. I had a gun pointed at the back of my... So they all get fired as a result of this. We should mention that the stupid-ass popsicle guy, he sabotages his own pool filtration system to and then calls the Board of Health to get the thing shut down so they can't have the party at the thing because he finds out about it. That backfires because it turns out that the Board of Health guy knows... What's his name? Bobby Moynihan, right? He's friends with Bobby Moynihan, and as a result, they keep the pool open. But, this whole thing goes off, and they end up getting fired, all of them.
It's so dumb, so that he can have a pool party with himself.
And that could have been funnier. I like kind of where that was going.
The guy goes into his private restroom to apparently
take a shit, right?
And think about horses.
I don't know what the joke was. I don't know what the joke with that is. I wish the joke was played better on that.
It's weird. And then he's hitting on, Gina Gershon. And then when she shows up randomly, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. This is a private party with myself."
I don't understand. He likes horse cock. Have you seen
Nora, you make this movie sound so much funnier.
Yeah, she does, actually. Yeah. Chris actually sells the film.
The apron was ridiculous because it has those little, spaghetti arms.
Yeah, and he's got the abs. Yeah. I had a gun pointed at the back of my head. I had a ride in the back of an ice cream truck. I had to do fake cocaine, which all sounds funnier than it actually was, strangely enough. So Mr. Josh Gad character ends up having to, Zack Pearlman, I should say, the actual actor. He gets the weed that we talked about with the two black guys. Comes back to find out they've all been fired, but they're going to rally back. Hang in there, guys. Jesus, what are you doing here? This is what happens when you invite Will Forte to cameo in your crappy comedy. He never leaves the set. Hour and 10 minute mark. I thought he was done. The two best friends break up. Temporarily. And then Graham Phillips goes home, and the next morning he wakes up, and this guy's still there in a wheelchair. Real creepy. Not funny. Creepy. How do we get these pill brownies into Chuck? Was secretly hoping the film would end at this point so we wouldn't have to endure the inevitable. Still gonna have a party plan around the hour and 13 minute mark. So they all come back together and they have to get rid of Chuck. And we should mention Chuck's the popsicle guy that I've been mentioning ad nauseum that Rainn Wilson should have played. So they have to drug him, basically, to get rid of him so they can have the party at the pool. They're really committed about having the party. Why didn't they just have the party at Chuck E. Cheese or something? Like, I don't understand why you had to have why couldn't they have it at one of the houses? The fact the parents of the lead character were out of town.
Right.
They were at Disney World. Why didn't they just have the party there? I don't understand why they're so committed
Because
to
it
have
has to be at the pool.
Why? Who gives a shit about the pool? They're at the pool every day.
It's also probably because the amount of people that turned up would have blocked the street.
Okay,
outside,
yeah, there is a
go
couple
into the
hundred people.
house.
Yeah, all right, that's a good point too. You've done well, my son. Was anyone else asking for this unfunny animated segment of Chuck's drug vision around the hour and 19-minute mark?
This got real weird.
Real quick. And not funny weird. Yeah, I went to South Park territory.
Oh shit! What's the
Come
thing
on.
with Jack Black? You know, with
Jack
the
Black?
where him and Kyle and they're doing the devil thing.
Pick a destiny.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
it's
really?
basically
That's
a rip-off of that.
Oh,
right?
come on, really?
Yeah.
The most annoying thing for me about that entire sequence, he didn't even actually kill someone.
No, he did. What's his name? Gina Gershon drugs Chuck with the brownies. She eats them herself, which is not the great. He tries to drive his car, and as a result, he sees Bobby Moynihan with all the booze, and he turns around, and they can't get into the pool because the keys weren't right. But then this dumb idiot, it drives up, and we think, it's alluded to in the animation that he killed a bunch of people, crashed through the gate, and fell into the pool. That's not exactly what happened. He just passed out before he even got to the gate. But the animation's weird. They have the devil looks like Darkness from Legend. It's like some really weird shit. It's not funny. So anyway, the party goes off, and of course, it's the typical party scenes we've seen in a million other films. A lot of slow-mo shots of people dancing, acting stupid, jumping off the diving board. And that's why I tried to do that Bobby Moynihan. Yeah, I can't pronounce. Fuck that guy. I'm too drunk to even get that.
Bobby Moynihan.
Fuck him. He's not funny. He tries to be funny. But anyway, we've seen this scene numerous times, and it goes on for the back end of the movie, unfortunately. And then again, the movie runs completely out of gas because of that. We'll find out once and for all whose picture this is, which will involve 200 partygoers to be absolutely quiet while everyone listens for a ringtone. Sure. Hour and 29-minute mark. So. The dumbass manager takes a dick pic of himself in his office. We didn't know who he sent it to on his 90s cell phone. And now we have this scene of a big pussy storming through the party because he doesn't like his daughter being there. And he thinks that Graham Phillips guy sent the dick pic to Ashley Greene. And then he calls the phone back, and it turns out the phone goes to the manager, and not who's passed out in the car, mind you, out in the front, which was marginally funny. So basically, Graham Phillips is off the hook. What if we pretend to be different kinds of people for one night, or a different kind of film for that matter?
Oh my god!
So basically,
what a weird line.
It's a weird line, right? So basically,
it's stupid.
Right? The guy gets the girl, kind of, but the other guy, the Josh Gad character, he totally gets laid, right, by the half Asian, half Jewish chick, Rebecca, the other one. Yeah.
That's a whole other plot point.
Okay, but not a very good one.
No, it's not. It's terrible.
But
it's awful because he's having sex with her and has these, climaxing. He cries out her sister's name.
Oh, if I had a nickel for every time I did that.
Like, the only reason you did that is because you were too scared of me.
Yeah.
And like my sister because she seemed easier.
But see, Griffin, there's a better film there. There's a better film there. I wish that was developed a little bit more, and I thought it would have flown. But here, it's jammed into the back end of the movie. And it doesn't. It's really awkward and weird, guys.
I'm sorry. Was that inconvenient for you?
Not personally for me, but it's inconvenient for the storytelling in the film. I thought there's a better film there, Griffin.
Honestly, was there a lot of story to be told?
Oh, well, apparently they thought so because they got a lot of people and a lot of characters roaming around here doing story arcs.
I watched all of this stuff happening in the film, and then all of a sudden I was like, they watched American Pie before they wrote this.
Right?
Yeah, it's very American Pie. You're right. Again, another film we can mention.
This movie was super derivative.
This isn't the end of Frank and Danny. Thankfully, it actually is. We got no sequel out of this one. So everybody, makes up. Everybody gets laid or not get laid. The next morning, the party goes all night. Which as an old guy, I would have long left. I wouldn't have been up all night. But that's just me. These are kids. They can stay up all night.
Dude, I could smell their hangover.
Got everything? Everything, including that 10-speed, which managed to disappear between shots. Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed that. So, Graham Phillips goes home on his 10-speed, and he rolls up into the driveway because his parents are literally taking him to the college right then and there, which I don't understand. Why would that...
all
guys...
in that little car.
Yeah, all these shit films in the...
Bullshit.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Bullshit.
So he parks
everything would fit in the car, and then he could drive himself. They wouldn't fit in the
no,
car.
No, they
also.
wouldn't. No, of course not. So he parks the bike on the side of the driveway, and when he goes in the house to get something, there's the picture of him and his best friend, and he gets into the car, and then the pull-away shot is the car driving down the driveway now, and the bike's gone. It magically has disappeared from that shot. So maybe that's just me because I was so bored I was looking at anything around the screen to get.
Most Ivy Leaguers are going to take their bike to college.
Yeah, well, that too. You would have had the bike. You're right.
Also,
absolutely right.
We have no idea what he's studying. They just keep going, he's going to Harvard.
Oh, that's true.
Nothing
You're
specific.
Right. Crest on credits.
So there's a couple things
Thank you.
that happen.
Please, go ahead.
Chuck magically appears.
Whoa.
He apparently didn't get the
killed?
Cement shoes.
Okay.
And he, of course, climbs back into his car that's now filled with very angry hornets.
Oh, that's the payoff to that?
Yeah, but the way he walked back into his car.
Is it funny? Is it funny?
That something had gotten
lodged in his ass.
Somewhere.
Yeah, he got some.
So
maybe
that's
his
kind
head
of
went up
funny.
his butt. I don't know. But the best part I have to say, and I know you didn't understand why Method Man was in this movie.
Okay.
Method Man.
Oh no.
And
that was
Zack
great.
Pearlman have like a freestyle off.
Oh,
And,
that's
like,
funny.
It's obviously like a cut scene, but it's real freestyle. And Method Man fucking brings it. And then
Oh,
you're thinking,
yeah.
okay, here comes Zack Pearlman. It's gonna be stupid. And it was fucking good.
Oh, really?
Zack Pearlman's very good.
All right. So why? So again, the best jokes are at the end of in the credits, which is we've seen that before. It's not the first time we've run into that problem. Why wasn't this stuff in the movie? I don't know. Why wasn't that energy, I should say, in the movie? We don't know. But that's all right. So there you go. All right, well, folks, there you go. If you want to stay to the end of the credits. Apparently, it's better than the fucking movie.
Well, unfortunately, it's only like 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know. We don't. Yeah, I know. Well, you got to take what you can
it.
get. And, folks, this is your tie-in this week is Rough Night because Kate McKinnon shows up in Rough Night this week that opens tomorrow. Hopefully, Kate McKinnon's a lot funnier in that one.
It will not be rougher than this.
Yeah.
First of all, Kate McKinnon, she is doing another accent in Rough Night. She's doing an Australian accent.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah,
And
we
she's
might.
really good at it, I have to say, because I can't do Australian because of the O's.
Right.
They say no, I can't do the no. I can't do.
All right, so there you go. That is a Staten Island summer for this week. Jesus Christ, we took it out and played with it a lot longer than we should. Can we flush it, ladies and gentlemen? Can we please flush it?
Put it out on the ferry.
There you go. Consider it flushed. All right, that's it for this week. I want to thank my lovely co-cinematic flushers, Midwest movie mogul Colleen Griffin, Raging Buddha Bee movie queen Nora Crest, and Sassy Cinephile Sarah Polton. Great job, ladies, as always. Thank our extended co-flusher, Paul. And where the hell are the bloody jokes, Hawkins? Paul, you suffered through this one. I guarantee we're not going to have you back until it's an Adam Sandler film. So just hang in there. So. That pretty much sums it up. There you go. Thank you so much, Paul. We appreciate it. We're going to be back next week to torture you guys with something else. Until then, say goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, this is Sarah Polton, and I want to thank you for listening to This Week and every week as we flush these turds down our cinematic bowl here in the restroom. And by turds, I mean the movies, not my ex-boyfriends. If you haven't already, please subscribe to us on iTunes and Google Play Music so we can attract more listeners and so you don't miss a single episode. We love feedback, so email us at signalsoffury@gmail.com with your comments and suggestions for future flushes. Also, be sure to check out our home restroom on the net, signalsoffury.com. Until next time, remember, we're here to flush it, so you don't have to see it. I'm Sarah Polton, and this has been the award-winning Soiled Restroom Cinema.